Are you ready? It's week 3. Let's do this.
This is what I like, he says. I'm taking this from now on.
And Romo with the perfect pass to Miles Austin.
People talk about leadership all the time. This is what makes you a leader. Not yelling at people, but getting your butt back in the game, making plays to win a football game.
Now I know Shots is liking that highlight. That actually was one of Miles Austin's 3 touchdown receptions he had last week. To match that, he had Jeremy Maclin also, who got him almost 40 fantasy points, leading Shots to the biggest week last week with 155 fantasy points. Now last week, Shots was going against Young Money, who had a pretty good week from Drew Brees and Devery Henderson. But he had another silent week from Chris Johnson, who only posted him 7 fantasy points, and actually he ended up trading Chris Johnson this week, which we'll talk about later. Another pretty intense matchup we had last week was actually my team, the Shea Birds, versus David's team, Cathcart Killer. Now this matchup was really close all the way down to the Monday night game. Both teams actually ended up scoring over 150 points. For the Shea Birds, he had great weeks from Larry Fitzgerald, LaShawn McCoy, and Javed Best. Now for David's team, he had a monster weekend from Tom Brady. But really this whole matchup wasn't about what guys came out and played good, it was about who didn't show up. For the Shea Birds, he had 3 guys finish under getting 10 total fantasy points, while David's team only had 2 guys, and that pretty much is what it took to get this win. Either way, congrats to David. Hopefully I get a shot at a rematch in the playoffs. Now when it comes to the top performers for week 2, we had 3 wide receivers on the top of the list, all scoring over 35 fantasy points, with Jeremy Maclin, Miles Austin, and Vincent Jackson all having great weeks. Now when it comes to quarterbacks, Tom Brady once again was at the top of fantasy points. But a close second was Cam Newton, who for the second week put up very good numbers. Now when it comes to running backs, Fred Jackson was the top running back, putting up another 100-yard performance with 2 touchdowns. Fred Jackson is quietly having a very good year as all the attention in the Bills is being directed towards its passing game. Fred Jackson probably will get some good carries this coming up week, and I predict another 100-yard game.
It's been a long time.
Let's take a look at the week 3 matchups that should have the biggest impact on the league. You guys remember in week 1 we had the brother versus brother thing going on. Well, here in week 3 we got another family affair happening. But this time it's father versus son, not just in one matchup, but 2 matchups. These matchups obviously are very sentimental, and I think we should take a moment and reflect on what a great father and son relationship really means. The first matchup we're going to look at is actually Dennis's team, which is Woodbridge Vikings, versus Shawnee's team, which is the Bombers. Now, both of these teams made the playoffs last year, so they're definitely fighting to get back on top. Both of these teams haven't started off that well. Dennis's team is already 0-2 and not looking too good, as both of his first-round draft picks haven't panned out with Arian Foster and Peyton Manning. Now, on Shawnee's team, he's actually 1-1, but he's not looking too good right now, as he's on the bottom of the totem pole at the 1-1 teams at 11th, as he doesn't even have 200 total points scored. Now looking at the projections, Dennis has a slight advantage with almost 10 points. I really do think LT is going to put up pretty good numbers this week, as Sean Green just hasn't cut it for the Jets. And also, I think Jason Witten's going to put up really big numbers on Monday Night Football against the Redskins. Now looking at Shawnee's team, he does have that 2-headed monster with Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson. The rest of his team's kind of a question mark, but I do think Anquan Bolden's going to put it together this week and get a touchdown and almost 100 yards. Now personally, I give the slight advantage to Dennis for this matchup, but he has to put up better numbers at wide receiver. Last week he had Plaxico Burress and Braylon Edwards, who combined put up only 2.35 points. That can't be the same case this week, or he's not going to get this victory. Now our next matchup also is a father-son matchup. It's my team, the Shea Birds, going against my dad's team, the Soup. Earlier in the week when I realized this father-son matchup, I actually went through some of my old home videos with my father and found this classic.
Hold on tight. I'm scared now.
Really, Dad? Really? Now, I'm totally confused about this video, because here's the thing I really noticed. Not only does my dad try to kill me, but even if this makeshift ramp works, I'm gonna run into the freaking car. Like, I'm gonna get hurt either way. What kind of parenting is this?
Hold on tight.
I mean, not even after I fall and hurt myself, mom's laughing at me. I mean, really guys? This is how I was raised? Jesus, and you guys want grandkids? You're out your damn mind. All right, looking at the projections, the Shadebirds have a 15-point advantage. I do think they're gonna have big weeks from Larry Fitzgerald, Ben Tate, and the newly acquired Chris Johnson. Now, the Shadebirds sent Wes Welker to get Chris Johnson, so this could hurt him, but I do think Chris Johnson's gonna turn it around this week and show why he was a first-round draft pick. Now, looking at the Soups team, his biggest question mark this week is going to be coming from injuries. He has Mike Vick, Des Bryant, and Antonio Gates, all are who are his top playmakers and are question marks due to injury. If he's missing at least 2 of those guys, I don't see him able to pull out this win. Now, my prediction to win, well, let's just say in that first video, my dad, well, is the dad, and well, I'm the son, so I'll let this little clip spell out what I think is going to happen. Now, this final matchup is actually going to be the matchup of the week. We have Cathcart Killer, which is currently our first place team, going against Super Stompers, which is our defending champion. Super Stompers team definitely woke up last week with his victory. He scored over 150 points. This week, I think you're going to have big weeks out of Stevie Johnson, Darren McFadden, and Roddy White's going to put up big numbers against Tampa. David's team, Cathcart Killer, has had a great season so far as Tom Brady has lit it up every week, and I don't think he's going to stop this week against the Bills. You can expect an easy 30 points from him there. I do think Mendenhall's going to put up big numbers against Indy, being that I think Pittsburgh's going to get ahead really early, and Mendenhall's going to grind it out. And I do think Dexter McCluster is going to quietly put up a 10 to 12 point performance. Overall, I give the slight advantage to Joey. I feel like his team's a little deeper from top to bottom, and I just don't see Tom Brady putting up monster numbers this week. I think he's going to have a good week, but nothing compared to what he did a few weeks before. Alright guys, this has been week 3. Sorry it's kind of late, kind of short, had a long week, but I'll definitely put more into it next week. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.